Don't know if I'll keep it down to a minute, but let's see. There is a new feature in Google Slides now where you can actually record your slides, which means you can include narration and a video of yourself. So let's see how this is going to look for us. I may run into problems because my camera's already being used, but let's see here. I've got a Google slide open. It's about Sheets as opposed to say Sheets, and we now have a button over here for recording. So when I click it, pops up and says, yeah, I can now create recordings of my presentation. Let's record a new video. And it gives me this sort of single pane just showing my slides. So it's going to capture my slide, but it's not going to capture anything else that I do. And I'll show you what I mean by that. I know my audio is working. It's down here in the corner. And as I suspected, my camera is turned off right now because I'm already using it for this other software. Um, if I did not and I turn that on, it will put my face up in the corner here, and that's actually what this button is for. It will let me move it from, sorry, this one's size, change the size of my camera if I had it picture in picture. And then I have this one as well here, where I can move that camera around. So it's just basic positions, top, left, bottom, right, that kind of thing, to move the camera around. So I'll go ahead and hit start recording. And you'll notice it's not quite the same screen we get when we're going to share in, say, Meet, where it asks us, do you want to share a tab, or do you want to share the screen, or do you want to share the app? Here, it's only going to record the slides, and I'll show you why that's important. I'm going to say allow. Here it goes. We're clicking along. I'm talking about my presentation now, and it does say that this tab is sharing. If I were to go to another tab, it doesn't give me an option to switch to that tab like it would have when we're typically sharing in Meet. And that becomes important if I do things like this, where I have links to some other things here. If I click on those links in my slideshow and it kicks me out to this other tab here where I would start making documents, I can't record that process as part of this recording because it's not going to see that. But I can click on my way through my presentation. I can narrate. I got about 30 minutes of narration time, or recording time, I should say, as I babble my way through here and I, talk about all these different things in Sheets. And when I'm finished, I'll go ahead and say, well, pause recording. But what I'll show you here, even before I do that, I do have speaker notes as an option. So if I've written a bunch of speaker notes about my presentation, I can open this guy up. It's still not, even though it's overlapping, it's not going to actually record that. So if I didn't have a second screen to pull this over to, I could actually leave it up here, read my speaker notes, and then say, um, here it is, next. And my slide will go to the next slide. The recording will only see this portion, and I can be reading off of my speaker notes here, talking about whatever I need to talk about, if that's something that I want to use. And at any time, I can go ahead and just hit the stop, or it does say pause recording, but that's only because I can keep going. And resume, you'll see here when I hover, it says resume recording. Now I can re-record if I knew that was garbage, or I can just say save to drive, and it will take that video, save it for me. It's letting me know right now that's being uploaded. There we go. Any video, whenever you record one and upload it into, say, Google Drive, and the same for YouTube, there's a period where, yes, the file's been uploaded, but it needs to be processed on Google's side before you can actually view it. You'll run into that problem if you ever upload a video and then immediately share it to somebody. So this is processing right now. That'll take a few minutes because I babbled for a few minutes there. But what will happen here when it's done is I will be able to click that little button. I'll see a little number 1 next to it. And right here, I'll have a name for my video file that I can click on and start watching. And if I record multiple versions of this, maybe I do a recording of the first 10 slides because I'm going to give that to the students one day, and then I do a recording of the next 10 slides. It's the same presentation, so I would actually see 2 recordings here under this recording button. I would actually see the number 2 sitting there, and I could pick and choose which one I wanted to actually view. Now these recordings are going to land in my drive. They're going to land in a folder called, let's see if I can get to it here, slides. There it is, slides recordings. And there's the one that I just did. So that is still landing. I doubt it's actually finished. Yeah, it's still processing, but the folder is there, slides recordings, and everything that I record in slides moving forward is going to land in here. It's a WebM file rather than say an MOV. I would be able to go ahead and share that with people. I could put it into Google Classroom. I could move it to whatever other folder I might want, or I can just leave it right here. I could leave all my recordings in this folder and then put, shortcuts and individual sharing and such, depending on what it is I'm trying to do. So you've got all those options. I know that was probably more than my 1 minute, but it is going to be a neat new feature to be able to record and narrate over your Google Slides and create a little video of what you've done. I know we're not doing the learn at home stuff anymore, but this kind of thing is handy for capturing what it is you want to say about given resources or a given lesson, and then be able to provide that, like say in Classroom or something, for those students that maybe missed it the first time, or they're at home trying to remember, or you just want to provide them a way to go back and sort of relearn or refresh themselves before a test on any of the various materials that you've covered. So up to 30 minutes worth of recording time, which is pretty big, and go ahead and have some fun with that.